Well, I thought while it was out here cleaning it up after the latest sortie today, thought I might as well make a quick little video for you guys that are either considering getting the 1700mm FMS Corsair or on the fence or already bought it or whatever. Here's a quick little preview. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. I actually cleaned up all the main stuff just a few minutes ago. I had it on the grass at my local school, and tends to get pretty mucky. So anyways, I was just going through and noticing that you know, you get the usual play with, I don't care what retract it is, if it's stock, you know, you're going to have some level of play, and this is about the extent of it, and it actually looks worse than it really is. There's a lot of play here at the top base of the wheel area. Let's see if we can get in there, but you can see it's got this little stopper piece down there, so it's not gonna go, it can't literally go any further clockwise than I can push it right there, but you know, it's gonna have that little bit of play. So I just went ahead and just tightened up the Allen nuts on both sides here, and it actually it's better than it was. Now this side over here, it's got a little bit of the same kind of play, but it's not. Yeah, you can just see it's not that bad. I mean, if I go back and forth, that's the extent of that. Over here, back and forth, that's the extent of that. So these are extremely durable retracts. I believe these are the PZV. Oh no, you know what? Actually, I think these are the new FMS plastic ones. Either way, they have been extremely stout. I haven't had many Aeros landings yet, so I haven't pre-flared and bounced her a foot or two off the ground, so they haven't been challenged that much. So I've been very fortunate to have good flared landings so far. But still, you can tell that they're pretty stout retracts. So that's about it for those. Here's the missiles that I was talking about. V8. You were talking about the tanks here, and as you can see, it is that old kind of version where you just kind of has the male female where you plug them in. And I haven't really had a problem with these. I mean, they're wobbly this way, but you know, I mean, you'd really have to have a good amount of force to pop these out in the air. So I'm not that concerned about that setup. Now the missiles, on the other hand, as you can see, they're just there you go. I mean, they're not glued in or anything. They just set into their little grooves here, the little pockets. You just literally just pop them in there, and it doesn't take much. You know, you just do. So you can see. You can definitely see that if anything needs to be modded a bit, it would probably be the missiles here. And what I would do is either put a little piece of Velcro or rare earth magnets probably makes even more sense. So maybe put in one or two little earth magnets, and it'll just clamp right in there. And then you can still take it off easily enough if you don't want to fly, if you want to fly clean or something. But that's really it. And here's that new hub. Now I painted it for my livery here. It came black, but this has just been tremendous. I mean, there's been no sign of fatigue and stress fractures or anything. It's just a wonderful upgrade, and I'm so glad FMS took care of that problem so quickly like they did. And now here you can see the spacing. You can see the spacing between the front of the cowl to the back of the props, and there's plenty more space than there was before. I mean, stock with the V1, you had almost zero clearance, and so you can see why in the air with certain turn rates and things, it could cause a lot of problems. So I also have an additional motor back plate put in, so that did bring the hub out more than it would stock still. But you want to, kind of like Brandon was talking about, adding the extra washers or an added motor back plate. Either way, you're going to want to do something like that to ensure that you're going to have the clearance that you want to have on the cowl and the hub and the props. Let's see, anything else? Yeah, we talked a bit about the flaps. You can see in there the little slot that I had cut out, just typical Arrows fashion. Not the best job in the world, but just wanted to get it done. And I definitely feel that I'll be able to get something in there and get that working just fine. Other than that, I mean, plus the leading edges, you know, you want the leading edges to be rounded like the full scale as well. And that should be a relatively easy mod as well. And once those two things are done, boy, this thing is about as scale as you can ask for a foam Corsair, no question. I did take off. I was having issues with the tailwheel mechanism binding on the tailwheel doors. Like when a couple flights ago, it did not fully retract. It's almost like it was kind of caught on something, so I wasn't really sure. And it comes with the tailwheel hook, just inserted into here, extends back and clips onto here. And I don't know if I had it, you know, if it's not supposed to be clipped down, if it's supposed to be loose or what. So I took it out, and I didn't have any problems with the tail wheel today. So other than that, the tail wheel is fantastic. You know, no issues. I mean, I think this play here is normal, but as far as, you know, it's really been stable, and like I said before, this is the best tracking warbird I've ever had. It's just so true, and you'll see the flight I had today. It's just rock solid in the air. Well, I think that's it for now, folks. If I can think of something else, I will. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna go ahead and turn this upside down real fast. So excuse me while I do this. You can see where I mounted the my Contour Roam cam today for the footage. You'll see. I had. What I do is I just mount it right here, looking aft, and then and I put Gorilla Tape to secure it, and then of course that's going to always do that to the paint. So there's my wife saying my husband is a nerd, and she's right. So anyways, so enough of that. What I was going to show you is, I'm sure some of you guys probably want to see the compartment in here. Here's my Aces of Iron pilot. Love those guys. So much better than the stock pilots. And let's see. Here's how I have my battery compartment. As you can see, I just kind of have my 20 amp Probec just sitting down there. That's fine. It doesn't hurt anything. They give you this space, this area here where you can put all of your bird's nest wiring. You know, but other than that, I mean, you know, I've got my receiver kind of sitting in the side there, which you know, I just kind of pushed it in there, and it's been great. It hasn't budged, and got my satellite back there, just kind of dangling down there with a little bit of tape so it doesn't go anywhere. My battery, as you can see. Now, what I had to do, this is a 6-cell 5,000 milliamp, and I've got the Castle Ice 100 amp ESC here. Now all I do, I love this Gorilla Tape, I really do. It doesn't look that awesome, but man, I tell you what, it doesn't go anywhere. I don't like using those straps, just for whatever reason. I've had issues with them in the past. So what I do, that's the one thing here, is this little wire here. It's kind of hard when I'm holding a camera, but normally I just take this wire and do this, and it's not an issue. Then it comes right out. Alright, so, okay, sorry about that. Now that I have the battery out of the way, you can see I had to carve out a nice little notch here, because with this big old ESC, I didn't have room for both. There's just not enough real estate. So I carved out that that base there, you know, where the battery sits on the floor. I just carved that whole section out so the battery would have more room to sit, and the ESC just simply sits on top of the battery, and I've had zero cooling issues, or heating issues I should say. The cooling has been fine. I also carved up here in the top as well. So you know, typical again, Aeros mods, you know, here you go. It looks like a monkey got a hold of a wrench and just started chopping away at the foam. Well, you know, someday I'll figure this stuff out. But So anyways, I guess that's really it. I just kind of wanted to show you the battery. It's probably dark. I don't have any lighting in there right now, so it's probably hard to see. But there's plenty of room though for your 5,000 milliamp. As you can see, I'm running the Nanotech 45C, which you don't obviously need a 45C battery in here, but so you have to carve that out a bit. And other than that, it's money, man. I mean, there's been no problems with this plane. You know, it's just, she's a beautiful, beautiful bird, and I'm glad I got a spare one coming, because I definitely want to keep one of these in my hangar, no question at all. So I'll get that painted back up today, and you won't even know it was there. And so yeah, there you have it. So happy flying, folks. Hope your weather is better than ours in the Northwest.